Good morning, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for joining me here on this lovely November 28th. We have got ourselves a lot to talk about this morning with not only an ongoing severe weather threat, but also a big time winter storm that is beginning to bring significant impacts to the Northeast. If we take a look at the Albany, New York radar and we switch over to the winter weather radar, we can see that we have got absolutely monstrous amounts of snow starting to fall across portions of upstate New York, southern New Hampshire, southern Vermont, and northwestern Massachusetts in the higher elevations. We have winter storm warnings in effect, lake effect snow warnings in effect, but we talked about this a lot last night. So if you didn't watch that stream or you didn't watch the forecast from yesterday, I'd highly recommend doing so. All right, we are already starting to see some power outages across portions of Pennsylvania and New York. Last night, this system traveled across parts of the Midwest and did not do too much in terms of power outages, but it does look like we did see some significant totals in Jefferson County, Pennsylvania. And again, it is going to continue to get worse, and the areas that are going to see the most significant snow accumulations are not going to be areas in upstate New York or Vermont or even New Hampshire. They're going to be the areas right along Lake Ontario and Lake Erie here. We are expecting feet of snow to start up. We are expecting more snow accumulations of 2 to 3 feet in some of the heavier bands of lake effect snows. And it's not really going to get too intense until everything moves out of here, right? Obviously, we've got all that heavy snow right now in upstate New York, and that system's going to travel through this region more throughout this afternoon. But by tonight, whenever this system really starts to move out of here, or at least makes its way into Maine, that's whenever the real lake effect snow event really starts to get going here across the lakes. If we take a look at the precipitation type forecast here on the HRRR model, we can see that by 7 p.m. this system, like I said, really just absolutely banging Maine here with all this heavy snow, and again, some sleet maybe even in the southern portion of the state here, some freezing rain for sure also being a possibility, so that'll be something we have to look out for very closely. But if we take a look here over at the lakes, we can see that's whenever we really start to see some of these little snow squalls pop up, these little snow shower looking things, and this wouldn't be such a problem. However, they're going to go for days and days. If we switch things over to the NAM model here so that we can get a longer term forecast of what these snow showers are going to do. If we go ahead and play this out here, we can see again, they're going to get going around 5 p.m. tonight. They're going to continue until 2 a.m., until 7 a.m., until noon, and they are going to keep going and piling on those snow totals throughout the weekend. Again, it's not like you're going to see a bunch of heavy snow at once. That's not the problem. We are talking about days of nonstop snow across portions of western New York and northwest Pennsylvania. And now even northeast Ohio, we have some some lake effect snow warnings in effect for Cleveland. You could see some lake effect snow, but I'm thinking you're probably going to get some smaller impacts. Again, we're talking about 4 to 6 inches of snow possible in the northeast part of the county here. And again, most of the lake effect snow will stay off to your north and your east. But again, we are talking about feet of snow here along the lakes, so that's not all we have to talk about here, alright? We are also watching a severe weather threat down into the southeastern United States. If you tuned into last night's stream, you know that things were really starting to get going as soon as we ended off. We ended up seeing a tornado warning in Alabama just a few hours ago. Now, luckily, that storm did not confirm, it's not confirmed that it produced a tornado, but we are still watching some rotating thunderstorms here in portions of Georgia now, near the Warner-Robins area. We have special weather statements from the National Weather Service mentioning that there is a chance of a brief tornado, so this is going to be something that we look out for the next several hours here. Again, I appreciate you guys for tuning in here on this lovely morning. Again, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up stream chat. If anybody has any questions about their location, feel free to leave those down below. It looks like this storm is already knocking out power for some folks in Washington County, which is pretty interesting considering that that storm does not even have a special weather statement associated with it, so we may see that come out here within the next few minutes. What's really interesting is we didn't even have any severe thunderstorm warnings last night, but again, we did have one tornado warning across parts of Alabama. What is up, everybody? What's up, Gooseman, Mr. Storm, Patrick, Peachy, Mr. Twister? We have got the whole crew in here today, so that's good to see. You're still not awake. I just woke up a little bit ago, but I decided I wanted to get this stream out here since I'm probably not going to be able to go live during the main event today across the Carolinas. It's pouring here. Yeah, out in Long Island, it likely is pouring again. We didn't really talk about the flip side of this system, but while all you guys in upstate New York, Vermont, New Hampshire are going to be seeing snow, areas along the I-95 corridor are going to be seeing rain. All right, you are just above that freezing point here in this general region. Again, we're talking 40s and 50s, so we're not really expecting any sort of snow to mix in there at that point, obviously. But again, heavy rain will be an issue, but you're not really talking about snow until maybe you get a little bit further north, or at least into the higher elevations. What's up, Loot Llama? Alrighty. Let's set another crazy goal and hope that the like counter doesn't glitch this time. Let's go for 50 likes. If you're not aware, the like counter was glitching very badly last night, but let's hope that doesn't happen this time. Again, it's not going to be something we shoot for. I just want to make sure that everybody knows one final check here of what's going on today. And again, while we're doing this, we can also talk about the ongoing effects with the winter storm in the Northeast and those stronger and potentially severe thunderstorms down into portions of Georgia and the Carolinas here that we are expecting today. Again, right now, near the Warner Robins area, we're talking about a potential tornado trying to spin up, so that's going to be something that we watch out for here over the next several minutes. But for right now, these storms are mainly just going to be a gusty wind and small hail threat, it looks like. But again, earlier, these were packing a punch with a little bit of rotation that kind of swept through the Ripley area, so we'll see if that gets going again. But for right now, it looks like we're just chilling. My area might get some snow, but I did have some heavy rain yesterday. Yeah, if you're not aware, last night, I got the very first snow of the whole system, which was pretty cool. It was mostly rain, but there were some wet flakes in there. Yeah, I'm going live early this morning, because again, I'm probably not going to be able to go live during the main event today. But if we just take a look here at the HRRR model, again, the main event is likely going to occur later into the early afternoon. So if we take things out here, say 1 p.m., look at this. It's talking about discrete supercells across portions of South Carolina back through parts of Georgia. And this is where we could be talking about an isolated tornado threat. So, again, Charleston, South Carolina, Myrtle Beach, Albany, Georgia, Savannah, Georgia, that's going to be the area that I'd be watching out for that for. And that threat kind of lasts from 1 to, say, 4 p.m. with the greatest chance for an isolated tornado. I think 5 to 6 p.m. things start to wind down, but you could probably still see a brief spin-up, so we'll see what happens. I really do think that we are going to see a tornado or two today, though. Again, the chance for yesterday was abysmal compared to today's threat. And I'm not saying today's threat is super high. I'm just saying yesterday's threat was really not anything to worry about. Again, we did not see a single severe thunderstorm warning, but we did see one tornado warning this morning, so things are already kicking up. Again, we talked about last night how this morning we were still going to be seeing discrete supercells. That's exactly what happened. We have a little bit of rotation here with our storm approaching the Harrison area in Georgia, so we'll have to look out for that. Again, this is Washington County. We'll see if they throw a special weather statement out for that. Or maybe if things intensify, a tornado warning. Yeah, I woke up not too long ago. Again, I was literally just laying in bed, and then I was like, stream? You know, whenever that feeling just kind of hits you, that instinct. And I was like, okay, stream. So again, we'll watch that rotation potentially trying to get going near Irwin's Crossroads. And it's approaching Harrison as well, so we'll see what happens. Levi, how's it going? Again, good to see everybody here on this Thanksgiving morning. Thank you for giving me the time of day here. Davisboro, that's a fine town name if I do say so myself. No bias at all. Levi's back from war. He is. You know, he actually just got done with the, I don't know. It's too early for this. Alrighty. Again, I really wish I'd just woken up a few hours earlier and got in line for that tornado warning, but it's not like anything major happened with it anyway, so we're kind of just chilling, honestly. Alrighty. Let me get this post out here. What is up, everybody? Like in Dozen Life? Is that what you're talking about? No spoilers, no spoilers. No, you're just not. You're just really not. Alright, so they did go ahead and throw a special weather statement out for the storm, the part of the storm that we were talking about here. 40 to 50 mile per hour wind gusts, pea-sized hail, frequent cloud to ground lightning. Look at this, increased chance of a brief tornado. So, again, if you're in this area, make sure you're moving indoors. People outdoors should seek shelter immediately. I should hit 2K this stream. I doubt it, unless we get a max velocity rate. I don't think that's happening. Even if we get a max velocity rate, I don't know if that's happening. So let's go back up here to our winter storm. It's actually continuing to knock out more power here since our last check. We have got, again, thousands of people already in upstate New York and Pennsylvania without power here. And again, this is only the beginning. If we take a look here, if we go and turn off our winter weather alerts, we can probably see, let's see here. Yeah, so Delaware County has about 1,000 customers without power. Shenango County has about 500 customers without power. Warren County has about 900 customers without power. And then we go into Pennsylvania, and Jefferson County has about 600 customers without power. And then if we take off the, let's see here. Oh, that's cool to see the extreme cold warnings now updated on Radar Omega. If we take off the winter storm watches, we can see that Warren County, Pennsylvania has about 700 customers without power. Wasn't there a Warren County, New York that we just talked about? Yeah. Screw it, we're turning on all the weather alerts. Max is not live. Yeah, Max will not be live today. He doesn't really do winter storm coverage. What's up, B-Dog? It's been a minute. So again, some heavier snow starting to mix in here now in parts of upstate New York, parts of northern New England in general. Again, I actually think that Maine could be a sleeper area for some heavy snow totals. I mean, if we just take a look here at, say, the Dover-Foxcroft area, I know this is one of the bigger areas in Maine here. If we take a look at the winter storm warning, total snow accumulations generally from 5 to 10 inches, but locally greater totals possible in an area from, I'm not going to pronounce that, to southeast Aroostook County, which is way up here in northern Maine. So again, while it's nothing compared to what areas along the lakes are going to see, it is going to be still pretty interesting to watch. Yeah, Max is not even home right now, so... And even if he was, I doubt he'd be going live for this because it's Thanksgiving Day. And again, he doesn't really do winter storm coverage. But yeah, I think if I was asked, maybe where the greatest corridor for a tornado chance would be today, if I had to add a slight risk, which I honestly have thought about if that's a good idea or not, if I had to add a slight risk, it would be right in here, from a corridor from New Bern, North Carolina, back through the Vidalia, Georgia area. Again, I think that's where the greatest tornado threat should exist for today's discrete supercells. Again, it's not like a crazy setup, but it's just interesting enough to watch. By the way, it is cold. It is bitter cold in parts of North Dakota and Montana right now. We are getting into the negatives, not just for wind chills, but just for temperatures in general. What's up, Jack? It's been going good so far, but I literally just woke up, so... I feel like that's a fake book Sprix. Oh, that is the real one. Hello. But yeah, we are not just talking negatives for the wind chills back into parts of Montana, but negatives for the actual temperatures. We are at negative 20 into portions of Canada. And again, that's going to continue to get worse whenever this front continues to push through here. The one and only, that's right. So again, we'll continue to watch these storms here across parts of Georgia because the National Weather Service has mentioned, maybe a brief tornado is going to be possible with them again. But for the most part, I think it's just mainly going to be some gusty winds, some small hail. But again, if you're in this area, it's just a good opportunity to, take your precautionary actions of just staying indoors. Again, Wrightsville, Georgia, East Dublin, you guys are down the line. This just got past the Warner Robins area, the Macon area. And again, these do have the very real chance of potentially producing a brief spin-up tornado. But for right now, they're kind of just chilling out, honestly, more than anything. And I do think they'll intensify, though, later into this afternoon. Maybe not these specific storms in particular, but... Again, I think if these were just a little more discreet, they'd be a bit bigger of a threat. So let's go back up here to New England. Again, we've got thousands of without power already across portions of upstate New York and northern Pennsylvania. If we switch things over to the winter weather radar, again, you can see heavy, heavy snow starting to mix in there with that rain across parts of New England. And they actually did literally just issue a mesoscale discussion for portions of northern New England here. So look at that. I mean, if we look at the Watertown radar, it's showing pretty much all snow until you get down into southern New York, really. But new mesoscale discussion has just been issued as of 3 minutes ago. So if we go ahead and pull this up here on your screen, we can see heavy accumulating snow rates on the order of 1 to 2 inches per hour developing across region through 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern. So this includes portions of extreme northwest Massachusetts, extreme east central New York. We are talking about southern New Hampshire, central Vermont, and southwest Maine included in this mesoscale discussion. So again, this is going to be kind of the corridor that the National Weather Service and the Storm Prediction Center are thinking has the greatest potential to see some of those higher snow totals over the next several hours. Again, up to a foot of snow in some of these areas here, most likely, in localized regions. But, again, whenever we get past this main event, I think areas along the lake are going to be really the spots to watch. Sullivan, Missouri. Let's check it out. So Sullivan, Missouri, I think that actually you could see some snow this weekend if we take a look at the GFS model here. If we switch things over to the precipitation type, if we play this out a little ways... I guess the new run is still coming in, but yeah, you can actually see it here. So this is the 30th. This is around lunchtime. It's showing a band of heavy snow here, really just battering parts of southern Illinois and southeastern Missouri here. It's not going to be any crazy snow totals. But what I will say is, again, it will add up, all right? We're talking, you're seeing snow, from the 9 a.m. corridor all the way through lunchtime into the early afternoon. That's definitely going to potentially rack up some interesting totals for you. But if we go ahead and take a look here at the actual total snowfall amounts, you can see we're not talking anything crazy at all. We can't look quite far enough out on the GFS, but this should be most of the totals for everybody. So again, the greater snow totals will actually come back towards Kansas City, where we're expecting, around 4 inches in localized areas. But central Missouri, I think, will be an interesting swath to watch. Again, originally this was looking more like a southeastern Missouri event / far southern Illinois event, but now it's kind of back to the point where it's east central Missouri and south central Illinois, so it's quite confusing. St. Louis could get a good 2 inches of snow out of this. Again, stretching back into parts of southern Indiana even could see some snow. What about central Kentucky? Honestly, probably, again, that same system would be the thing to watch for you, but outside of that, I don't see any precipitation for the short term for central Kentucky. But, again, if we bring it back here to the total snowfall, central Kentucky is not really going to be the area that we're watching too closely, but I will say northern Kentucky could be a spot where we see maybe an inch of snow consistently in the northeast part of the state. Thank you, Paula. Appreciate it. Again, if you're just not tuning in, make sure to like and subscribe. We are trying to get 50 likes this stream, push it out to as many people as possible, because there is some interesting weather today for sure going on that we need to discuss. But yeah. Is the ground cool enough for it to stick? It actually will be, because, again, we are expecting that big old cold front to push through over the next few days. By this weekend, even if you're in, St. Louis, you could be talking about, wind chills down into the single digits, so it will be cool enough for at least some of that to stick for at least a short period of time. But this should be the first good accumulating snow of the year for a good chunk of the western Ohio Valley. Because, again, we've had a few snow events so far, and, wet snow events at least, but none of it's really been able to stick because those surface temperatures have been too warm. But that will all change here quite soon. But yeah, the crazy thing is let's see here. Yeah, so let me just bring this up. This is actually for National Weather Service office in Lincoln, Illinois, but we could probably find a better graphic than this, and we'll pull it up here in a second. But this is for central Illinois. All right, look at this. Single digits for pretty much everybody in that region by Friday morning there. Again, especially Sunday morning, I think will be an even bigger day, actually, in my opinion. If we go ahead and take it back towards let's say, the National Weather Service in Chicago. So wind chills in the teens, lowest wind chills to -5 degrees, which is obviously brutal cold for early December, late November. And say Des Moines. All right, look at this. We are talking, again, below zero here for especially the Dubuque area, but several other areas as well. And again, these are wind chills. These are not the actual temperatures, but these are the feels like. So, yeah. What's up, Justin R? Thank you for tuning in. Good to see you back in here once again. Happy Thanksgiving indeed. Only one snow event for you. Alright, see you, Goose Man. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. It was 70 degrees at St. Louis on Sunday. Yeah, it's crazy the dip that we're starting to see here. So again, the National Weather Service, the Storm Prediction Center did just put out a mesoscale discussion mentioning that heavy snow rates will be a major threat here across northern New England over the next few hours, which again, we've been talking about this for days now, so this doesn't come as a surprise, but again, it's important to know that things are starting to ramp up, that's for sure. Again, temperatures are just below that freezing mark there, so Again, we're talking lower 30s. That's going to be just low enough, just barely low enough for most of these areas to see snow instead of rain. But again, the I-95 corridor, if you're a snow lover, I hate to break it to you, but you're just seeing some rain today. Jack Bowman. Uh-oh. Thank you, Paul. I appreciate it. So again, some of these stronger storms here are still continuing to push through just parts of Georgia in general. Again, these are moving towards East Dublin, Wrightsville, Kite, Dexter, Chester. Actually, we do have a camera here in Louisville, Georgia. This is from Jefferson County. Look at this. Got some heavy rain. Very ominous looking. Again, just nice beneficial rain, though, honestly, for that area. You shouldn't see anything too crazy. Again, it's mainly areas southwest of there where we're watching for actual stronger thunderstorms. What's up, random Texan guy? Happy Thanksgiving. Winds for today are saying 11 miles per hour. But yeah, I mean, honestly, if you can avoid all the thunderstorms today across the southeast here, it is just going to be a beautiful Thanksgiving day. I mean, you're talking 70s. I don't think how you could... Yeah. That's all I have to say about that. What's the weather today? New Orleans. So yeah, I mean, you are just outside of our severe weather threat. I think for the most part, again, it's just going to be a nice day. I mean, you're talking 70s. I don't see how it could get really any better for Thanksgiving. It will be quite muggy and quite cloudy, but it's going to feel relatively nice, I would say. So again, it doesn't really get better for Thanksgiving Day. At least in that area. And this rotation's been trying to do something for a while now near Harrison, Georgia. It's just not wrapping up. I mean, we've been watching this for half an hour now. It's just not doing much. NATOcast outlook for today. Let me pull that up here. Alrighty. So, this is the NATOcast outlook here officially for Thanksgiving Day. Again, a 2% chance of a tornado within 25 miles of any given point across portions of South Carolina and Georgia. I'm a little surprised it doesn't go a little bit further north into North Carolina, but that's, again, completely AI generated. So, what do you expect? But it has been surprisingly accurate in recent events. What's up, Donna? Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for tuning in. And right now we're just tracking some heavy thunderstorms across portions of Georgia, kind of ruining everybody's Thanksgiving morning commute. And look at this, big band of showers and thunderstorms extending all the way from Waynesboro back through the Toomsboro area. Again, these just rolled through Macon, Warner Robins. And we're going to keep watching them here. Because, again, the National Weather Service has said maybe there's a brief chance of a tornado with one or two of these. And, again, I think if that were going to happen, the spot to watch would be Harrison. Harrison and Riddleville, in particular, this little pocket rotation. But it's really not doing too much, so we'll see. Yeah, these storms are not quite strong enough to warn a severe thunderstorm warning, but I think at some point in the early afternoon they will be. And we saw a tornado warning last night into portions of Alabama, actually. Didn't end up doing anything, but pretty concerning for a little bit. So, again, more of that heavy, heavy snow just going to continue here for hours and hours across upstate New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, northwestern Massachusetts, even. Um, and, whoops, depending on where you are, I mean, again, if you're along the lake, you're going to be seeing stuff like this for days straight, and that's why we're expecting feet of snow. Literally, look at this, 3 to 4 feet of snow in the most persistent lake snows across the eastern Lake Ontario region, but all the way back through Lake Erie, even, at times. So, again, we're talking about feet of snow. In November, I mean, that is, again, I said this last night, but for November, that's a historic event. If this were December or January, I mean, this would be crazy, but it wouldn't be historic. But for November, this is historic. And remember, the real event for the lakes doesn't start getting going until the actual system has moved out of here. That's whenever those lake effect snow bands start to pop up. We look at the HRRR once more. Let's go over to, we might as well just look at snowfall totals here. Oh, I guess the run doesn't go quite far out enough. But if we switch over to the NAM, let's just check out some of these totals. So again, these are going to be slightly lower numbers than what we're actually going to see, because some of the snow's already starting to push past through here. But look at this. This doesn't even go all the way out. We can go further, but unbelievable. 60 inches of snow. That is 5 feet of snow, according to the NAM. Now again, that's a localized area, but still, I mean, you can really tell very clearly where those lake effect snow bands are really going to hit the hardest. Happy Thanksgiving to all indeed. And we haven't really touched on the upper Midwest much, but that is going to be a threat this event as well. Again, we're talking about northern Wisconsin, northern Michigan as well with some snow. Sorry, I did not keep up with the chat here. It wasn't loading for me. It is cold this morning in my area, that's for sure. That can be said for a lot of the country. So, yeah, we're just at the freezing mark right now in my neck of the woods. So again, if you're just not tuning in, make sure to click that like button. We're trying to get this stream pushed out to as many people as possible. Let's check out our Louisville camera again. Is it Louisville or Louisville? Because I know in Kentucky it's Louisville. Wow, look at that. Whole lot of rain. Some wind as well, you can tell, starting to pick up. And make sure to click that subscribe button too. We're trying to hit 2,000 by the new year. I think we can do it, but only with your guys' help. What's the exact amount of subs right now? 1,917, I believe. Yes. Just crazy, because a month ago we were at 1,700 flat. We were in the 1,600s. So again, the support recently has been crazy. I appreciate it so much, guys. We've just been on that grind for a while now. Mr. Twister has been cooking. I'm kind of tired, y'all. Again, I literally did this, right after I got up. I just got that instinct. I was like, stream? And I was like, alright, let's stream. And Wrightsville, Georgia is about to get a big punch out of that thunderstorm. They're about to come again, expect some wind, some hail. Again, we're talking about maybe an isolated tornado, but I would not worry too much about that at this point. Again, if anywhere, the spot to watch would be closer to Riddleville in Pringle. Interesting town name. But even there, not too concerning. Looks mostly like contamination. As I've said this before, the reason I'm not adding any more mods is because we already have too many. We already have more than necessary. So I appreciate that you guys would help out, but for right now at least, we don't need more mods. We do have a little supercell actually trying to pop up right now near Lumpkin, Georgia, heading for Plains and Americus. So I'd watch out for that, but for right now, again, it's just kind of chilling. And these thunderstorms are on the downward trend in the Dublin area, that's for sure. I don't see anything too intense here on velocities. Again, the special weather statement expires in 6 minutes. So we'll see if they reissue it, but if not, I think we can kind of cut things off here. Yes, if we hit 100,000 subscribers, I will gritty. For sure. So for right now, let's just go ahead and chill on our winter storm event here. Whew. I gotta do some stretches. Play this in a little bit bigger of a loop here. Since this is all we're doing, we're just sitting here chilling with it on. Look at that. Just consistent heavy snow. You're going up to the mountains for Thanksgiving? That's cool. I'm going, literally down the street to my grandma's house. I'm sure I will, not voluntarily, but I'm sure I will watch NFL today. Did the stream end? What happened? Just glitched out. Are we still good? I don't know why stuff like this has been happening. It's a horrible curse. Whoops. Yeah, again, I won't voluntarily watch football, but I will end up watching football today. I can guarantee you that. It is nice just to watch it on Thanksgiving and Super Bowl Sunday, even though I know nothing about it. Your old 5th grade PE teacher was crazy about the Steelers. That's wild. My grandpa's a Green Bay Packers fan, so I guess I'll just say I'm a Green Bay Packers fan. I know they're doing pretty good this year, if I'm not mistaken. Alrighty, so I think we can kind of, I don't know, do we want to wrap things up here or not? I don't know. I think I need to wrap things up here, guys, because I still have a couple things to do this morning. But I love you guys so much. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm very, very thankful for having 2,000 or nearly 2,000 amazing fans out there. It's awesome. We get another sub. Thank you guys, whoever that was. I appreciate you. Again, have a happy Thanksgiving. Go out and enjoy it, but make sure that you're doing so safely. And that's all I have to say for today. So, peace.